Welcome to What the Mom podcast. You are listening to Doulas Petra
and Jacqueline.
Motherhood can be isolating and hard.
We are two doulas who want to provide a safe place to talk about all things mom,
From pregnancy
to birth,
to postpartum.
to parenting.
Join us as we have real conversations about real life.
Welcome to What the Mom podcast.
You are listening to Doulas Petra
and Jacqueline.
Thanks
Hi
for
guys.
joining us.
Yay! What episode? 34?
34. And
That's
today's
crazy.
topic is all about pregnancy nesting.
Woohoo! That's a fun one. Petra's in this stage right now.
I sure am.
How many weeks are you? 30?
30 weeks. So I'm in the third trimester, and I literally rearranged my entire living room yesterday by myself.
Be careful. Don't be too crazy, jeepers. But for real, like, how are you already 30 weeks? Like, that's just like, boom, like, blows my mind. Like, I feel like you just announced it.
Time goes by so fast.
Ugh, I can't believe we're already May 1st. Like,
Yeah.
where did the time go? We're in the 5th month already
Yeah, I know.
of the year. What?
24.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So this is very fitting because Petra is, she's in her nesting phase. So Petra, what have you been doing lately? Just lots of energy to tidy and clean and get ready for a baby. What's the definition, Petra, of nesting?
Well, nesting is it's an incredibly common instinct that many women have. Basically, it's just the act of preparing your nest or your home
for your baby
for the arrival of your baby. It's an instinct that many humans have, as well as most mammals as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's so cool.
Yeah, it usually happens in the third trimester. It can happen anywhere. Some women say they have it kind of at the end of the second trimester, like maybe 24 or 25 weeks.
Yeah, I've heard that actually too.
Yeah, but it's more common closer to when a woman's getting closer to having birth and she's like, oh, okay, I want to prepare everything, get everything ready for when the baby's here. And it's more of like it's not something that's diagnosed, right? You're not going to have your healthcare providers like say to you like, oh, I think you have nesting instinct. Like it's just something that you just do, right?
Totally. And I totally did that too. I mean, I feel like I just had like a burst of energy.
Yeah.
Especially in the third trimester. Like the first, you're really tired. Second, you feel better. And then the third, you get tired. But towards the end, it's like, yeah.
Yeah. So, what are some examples of things that you did with your nesting then?
I would say like getting the baby's stuff ready before the baby came, like cleaning the bedroom wherever they were going to be. Or it's funny, I was like, this is where they're going to sleep, and they didn't sleep there.
That's pretty common. Yeah,
it's so common. And then just washing baby clothes and like that sort of stuff. I would say mostly like that. Like I didn't rearrange my living room or anything.
You're not crazy like me.
No, my husband wouldn't let me.
My husband's not home right now to tell me not to. So, there's that.
Exactly. Oh, man. But yeah, I would say for me, that's probably what I remember. Like this time, I don't know. Like I had pretty good energy throughout my pregnancy, but I don't know. Like I think towards the end, you just feel like you're just excited and anxious, and like you just want to, I feel like I just wanted to clean everything and get ready for things, and thinking, because you're like, well, when the baby's here, you're not going to want to. So
it is true,
because you're going to be so busy with nursing all the time and like all the things that you have to do with having your own kids too, right?
Yeah. And you don't know how your recovery is going to be. It might be a breeze, and it might not be. It might be kind of difficult.
Absolutely. You don't know unless, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I had pretty good recoveries. Like when you don't tear and stuff, it seems to be a little bit easier, but
It does.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, for me, with my first, we just moved, like
Oh yeah.
in my third trimester. And I remember having so much anxiety. It would keep me up at night, not being prepared for this baby. And
Yeah.
I'd get up at 2 a.m. and my husband would still be sleeping. And I'd go out and I'd make sure, okay, I'm going to set up the baby swing and I'm going to make sure I have the bassinet in the right spot in the living room. And I need to maybe have some of these like baby toys over here so that they're accessible. Um, Washing the bottles in case I decided to pump and give some bottles. Like I remember doing
Hmm.
all of that stuff in the middle of the night because I just couldn't sleep. I was just thinking about it.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah. And then one
See, I
morning,
never did that, but
my husband woke up one morning and he's like, "What happened? Why is everything moved around?"
that's
And I'm like, "Oh,
funny.
I couldn't sleep last night." He's like, "What?"
Like, yeah, I just got up in the middle of the night and just started doing everything.
Oh man.
I
So that
mean,
was,
teach their own. Yeah, that's
yeah.
funny.
And then I did the same thing with the prepping the baby clothes, like washing them all and hanging them up and getting them all ready.
Yeah.
And I cloth
Yeah,
diapered.
getting things ready.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I cloth diapered, so I was getting all those ready as well. And then my second, I didn't notice I was doing any nesting until I literally was taking we had like the old school stovetop with the elements that are like raised.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I took them out and I'm like scrubbing underneath. And then I learned that you can lift up the entire like top of the oven.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Most people don't clean under there. So I never cleaned there and we'd been living there for a long time already.
So you're like, might as well.
And I'm like scrubbing under there and my husband's like, "Well, I think you're nesting. I don't think I've ever seen you clean that since we've moved here." And I was like, "Oh, I might be." And then I was thinking about it and I'm like, "Yeah, I've been doing some like crazy deep cleaning of everything."
Yeah.
So for that pregnancy, it was more of the deep cleaning type stuff that I was really focusing on.
Yeah. I honestly don't remember when your kid is like 10 years old, you're like, what? It just seems like a blur.
Yeah,
Hmm.
time
But
goes.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's so crazy.
So this time around, with baby number 5, I I was having some low energy, and I was like, "Ugh, like I don't really feel like doing much. I just need to rest." And then all of a sudden, I don't know what it was. I just had a day where I started organizing things. I'm like decluttering. I started with the kids' toys, which is something I always do.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, I was on a roll and I just kept going and going. And I'm like, I'm going to go through this closet and I'm going to go through these drawers and I'm going to go and I'm going to move these things around so that this looks better and this works better. And like,
Yeah.
I've donated so much stuff. I've sold stuff. I've cleaned. I've done some deep cleaning already too.
Yeah. It feels good when your space, it just feels more. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Um, I think my fourth pregnancy, I did a lot of like the meal prepping. That was a big thing with my nesting, was preparing meals that time for some reason. I just felt this need to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's different every time. Yeah. Like I said, it's hard to remember, but I mean, I would say, yeah, like just wanting to clean everything and.
Yeah.
So it's clean before the baby comes in after, and you're not like feeling like your house is real nasty right when the baby comes and you feel like you have to clean it.
Yeah.
Just give it some time to
You're
not be so
preparing your
stressed.
nest for that baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I made a little list of a few things
Yeah.
that some people experience. So maybe I'll just read some of those.
Yeah, sure.
So some people, it'll be deep cleaning and preparing a nursery if you're choosing to have a whole nursery for your baby.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's like this sudden urge to like, I have to get it all ready and it has to be ready like as soon as I can. Some people, it's stocking up the fridge and the pantry, making sure you have enough food. It could be like double, triple, quadruple checking your to-do list, making sure, okay, have I finished everything that I want to do? It could be just doing loads and loads of laundry and getting it all ready, whether it's baby clothes, whether it's everybody's clothes. Uh, Maybe reorganizing drawers for like the second or third time, like thinking, oh, this doesn't look good enough or it's not organized enough. That tends to be my thing.
Yeah. You're like, it's not good enough.
Maybe just deep cleaning stuff in your house in general. So maybe like you get down and you're cleaning those floorboards. You're cleaning behind the big furniture, like the fridge and the stove. Or like me, like you're pulling up the stovetop and cleaning underneath.
Yeah.
Inside your fridge, you're doing all of that stuff that is not normally done as often, but you're doing a whole
Yeah.
bunch of it at once.
Yeah.
Maybe it's massive meal prepping. Um, Maybe for some people, it's more like emotional. It's just being more choosy about who you're spending your time with, how far away from the house you're going.
Yeah, I definitely was really careful about that. I'm like, oh, just in case.
Yeah. Especially at
Yeah.
the very end when like baby could be here anytime.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be something that a lot of women do. Yeah. It could be just thinking about all the ways that the baby's going to impact your life, whether it's at work, whether it's how this baby's going to fit into your family if it's not your first. If it's your first, maybe it's about how um, just your day to day life is going to be. Are you going to be a good enough mom? All of these thoughts. Um,
Yeah.
they're all ways that you can try to prepare yourself for what's going to happen, what's going to come, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't have anything at all that they notice.
Yeah. Everyone's different, I
Yeah.
would say for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes you'll have a few of them. Other times you'll have lots of them. And then you might have done it all.
Yeah.
So it definitely varies. And like we talked about, it can vary per pregnancy, even with the same person.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, like, yeah, I just remember just wanting to, have everything neat and tidy and, less stress, I guess. But
Hmm.
I don't know. It's hard to remember that far back. I just remember having a burst of energy. I'm pretty sure I had that with all my kids.
Yeah.
Just wanting to, just do whatever I had to get done.
Yeah.
Because when your husbands work and, they don't have time to clean, it's up to us to make it the way that we want it. But you have lots of helpers this time, so
Helpers.
I'm sure they've been helping a little bit, tidying and whatever. But
Yeah, my kids have been learning too. I've been
they've
making,
been learning. Yeah.
I keep telling them, mommy's not getting any less pregnant. I'm getting more pregnant. My belly's just getting bigger. It's getting harder for me to pick stuff up. I can't do it all on my own.
Yeah. So just asking them for help, absolutely.
Yeah. In fact, I told my one daughter, Juliana,
Yeah.
who was complaining about like why couldn't I pick something up, and I said, okay, we're gonna try something.
Oh no.
You're gonna go get that medicine ball that's over with our exercise stuff. We're gonna put it in your shirt, and I'm gonna tie it in there. Now imagine you're carrying around this extra weight
Yeah.
and this belly that's like big and it's in the way. And now I want you to try to bend down. So she does this sumo squat and she bends down and she picks it up and she goes, yeah, I can do that. That's easy. I'm like, okay, let's keep it on for a little while and we'll see if you can still do it again later. So she thought it was so funny. She's like, "Oh, this is a great game. Like, this is easy. I could do this, Mom. I could easily be pregnant." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll see about that." Because you think about it, Mommy doesn't get a break. I can't take it off to sleep. I can't take it off to go pee. I can't take it off to play. It's just always there.
It's always there.
And then she's walking around. She's like, "Oh, I don't like this. I want to take it off now." I'm like, "See? And I can't take it off. You can't."
Yeah.
Like, "Okay, I'll help more." I'm like, "Thank you. I appreciate that."
That's a great way to show them. Absolutely. Yeah.
So
It
at
is a
first,
lot. Like,
yeah. At
and
first
it's
it was
not,
all fun and games, right? But
yeah.
then she notices, "Oh, okay, this is getting kind of hard now."
Yeah. But it's just like when you wake up in the morning, you feel like, okay,
Hmm.
I feel like I can, move around, do what I need to do.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you get tired and you're like, this is really difficult.
Hmm.
I can't really do this. And it's stressful.
The day gets harder, yeah.
The more you're moving around and having to carry that weight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Which is
lot.
why it's also important to take breaks throughout the day, not to overdo it.
Absolutely.
Like you said to me, be careful.
It's not worth it to overdo it because then, yeah, you really will struggle, right? You don't
Yeah.
want to do something to hurt yourself.
Yeah. And
But
I
I
can,
also get wanting to get it done
yeah.
too.
And I can say when, like for me personally, when I was rearranging things and moving things around,
Mhm.
it's not like I just did it all really quick and it was done. It took me a long time because I'd take breaks and I'd sit down for a little bit
Yeah.
and um, I was listening to a podcast anyway. So I'd sit down and I'd just listen for a little bit and then I'd say, "Okay, I think I have some energy. I'm going to get up again." Then I'd get up, I'd do something else, and then I'd sit down and I'd grab my drink and I'd listen to a little bit more just while I'm sitting. And then I'd get up and I'd do some more.
Yeah, because you're like, okay, at this time, I'm going to have to stand and make dinner.
Yeah.
So I should probably take a rest before I have to stand up and be up on my feet for another 45 minutes to
Yeah,
make supper and to cook it and, all those things.
it's true. In
Yeah.
fact, today when I was making supper, I just pulled a chair into the kitchen and I was
And just sat on it.
I was sitting on the chair and then I was
Mhm.
like over the stovetop doing my stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was like, "Oh, like my hips are gonna hurt if I'm standing for too long." And I was
Yeah. You
making
might
this,
even just have to go sit at the table and just like sit down and put your pot or whatever.
yeah, prep stuff somewhere else, maybe get creative.
Absolutely. Yeah. Where it's more comfortable, even if you have to go to the living room and sit on the couch, like whatever you got to do.
Yeah, it's true.
Whatever's more comfortable, right?
That's why meal prepping can be super beneficial though too.
Absolutely. And if you have a doula, what I did with one of my clients is, yeah, like for one of the prenatals, the first one, we just like hung out. I got to know the mom and we just prepped some like protein balls
Yeah.
and some padsicles and stuff. And so that way she had everything ready. She
Yeah.
didn't even use more than two of them, the padsicles, but at least they were there,
Yeah,
right? So,
exactly.
yeah.
It is
Yep.
very important. And
Yeah.
it's all kind of a part of the nesting, right? Like you're preparing, whether it's instinctual or whether it's intentional because you're thinking to yourself, "I have to do this."
Yep.
It's still a part of preparing the environment, preparing
For your
emotionally,
baby.
yeah, for the baby.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. It's cool how our bodies work.
Can you think of anything that we should make sure we avoid?
Well, they say that isn't it like lifting stuff and like over your head or something because it can like pull the placenta wrong or something?
I've heard that. I don't know how accurate it is or not.
I swear I've heard that, but obviously like just proceed with caution, like don't be doing crazy things.
Yeah.
Just make sure that you're not, overexerting yourself, I would say.
Yeah.
Like rest when you need to, If
Yeah.
you feel like your blood pressure is getting higher, like just rest and
Yeah.
just know that there's another day, and also ask for help, you know.
Yeah.
It's okay. You don't have to do it all just because, you're in your nesting phase thinking that you have to do it all yourself.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, just like be really careful what you're doing.
Yeah. That's good advice.
Do not overexert yourself.
I'd say also making sure not to move anything too heavy,
Absolutely. That's what they say. Do not do that. There's
because
a reason.
it uses your abdominal muscles, which are extremely weakened from being pulled apart to expand for room for the baby, right?
Yeah. You could definitely pull something and hurt yourself.
Which can lead to um, a condition postpartum called diastasis recti, which is abdominal separation as well.
Yeah, I know somebody who had that.
Yeah. I had that after my first, and it was not fun. It wasn't.
And it's painful on your back too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a whole other thing. If you have any, um, I don't know what word I'm looking for. If you think that you may have that, that's something you need to talk to your healthcare provider about before your 6 week or at your 6 week appointment.
After baby. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, postpartum.
Absolutely.
Because that's something that needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
But if you can, just avoid it, right?
Absolutely. If you need the extra help, just ask for it. Don't do it too much on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, just being wise on like what you're doing to like not climbing tall ladders where you could fall and possibly
Yeah.
hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Not starting anything new that you haven't been doing before pregnancy. Like this is not the time to be like, oh, I'm gonna go ice skating and I have no idea how.
Or yeah, like
I'm
heavy.
gonna
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna start lifting heavy weights.
Or I'm
And
going to start running and I've never
yeah,
been a runner.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wait,
Absolutely.
wait until later.
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah. Don't overexert your body.
Yeah. And then if you're somebody who feels like you want to do painting, like a lot of people will paint the baby nursery, make sure you're using non-toxic paints and or making sure you're in an extremely ventilated area, like windows are open, fans are on, whatever you need. Or even better, have your spouse or somebody else do it for you.
Absolutely.
And then same with like cleaning products. Make sure it's ventilated if you're using any kind of cleaning products, so you're not breathing stuff in.
Yeah. Absolutely. I would say that's very, very important.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I think the last thing I can think of would probably be staying hydrated.
Oh gosh, yes, absolutely.
We've talked about that many times, right?
Yeah, it's very important. It leads to contractions, lots of different things.
Mm-hmm.
If you are dehydrated, it's not fun. Headaches. Yeah.
Yeah, it can cause lots and lots of issues.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So staying hydrated is important. And
Especially if you're nesting and you're going nuts and you're cleaning everything. Make sure that you're not doing that dehydrated because that would not be good.
yeah,
Don't do it.
well, you think about it when you're pregnant, it's almost like you're using the amount of energy that you would doing a light workout. But this is constant, it's never ending.
I know.
Your body is constantly like in this mode of um because it's literally creating life inside of you. You have extra blood going through your body. All of your organs have changed.
Yeah.
They've moved. You have different hormones going through your body.
It's the craziest thing ever.
Yeah.
It's a lot, yeah.
It definitely is.
So definitely take time to rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think
think
that
that's about all, yeah.
that does. Yeah, that probably covers it.
If you guys have any questions or any other ideas, let us know in the comments.
Yes. And make sure you like, subscribe, and follow, and share.
Yeah,
Because it helps us get our videos out there to more people.
absolutely.
More people who may benefit from hearing about these topics, because you never know who needs it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I agree.
So,
Yeah. Until next time.
what
What
the
the
wow?